करवा देता हूँ अपने भारत के जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं इसमें। तो श्रद्धेय डॉक्टर मधुकर भट्ट जी, वो एकल आरोग्य के हमारे मार्गदर्शक जी हैं। डॉक्टर मुकुल भाटिया जी, हमारे जो पूरा एकल का जो भारत देश में चल रहा है, जितने भी संत चल रहे हैं, वो हमारे मार्गदर्शक है। डॉक्टर RN मेहता सर, वो हमारे राष्ट्रीय प्रेसिडेंट है। और अपने डॉक्टर भौमिक भाई उपाध्याय जी, वो अपने राष्ट्रीय संघ। डॉक्टर वानी आहलूवाल जी,
ओके,
और
आप
अपने साथ में AFI टीम के जुड़े हुए सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को अपने आज का जो अपना PME टूर हो रहा है उसमें हम सभी का स्वागत करते हुए, और जो विदेश से जुड़े हुए हैं हमारे अधिकारीगण, डॉक्टर हसमुख जी और बाकी के वहाँ के स्टूडेंट, उन सभी का हम भारत देश में इस वर्चुअल टूर में स्वागत करते हैं। और हमारे साथ में ये जो पूरा टीम है उनका मैं थोड़ा सा परिचय करवा रहा हूँ। ये है अपने एकल आरोग्य की टीम है पूरी। सेविका बहन है जो पहले खड़ी है, जो काड़ी बहन। जय श्री राम बोलो। ये काड़ी बहन है। जय श्री राम।
आप उनको दिखाओ शंकर भाई, आपको नहीं दिखना है, हमको सबको दिखना है। आप कैमरा को घुमाओ। बहुत अच्छा, बस नमस्कार। अच्छा, एंड लेट्स पुट दैट पिक्चर
नाम बोलो तुम।
जीवंतिका बहन राकेश का।
ओके,
जोर से बोलो।
दिलवार जीवंतिका बहन राकेश भाई।
ओके,
मुन्या ललिता बहन नरेश भाई। जय श्री राम। मारिया कुसुम बहन धर्मेश भाई। जय श्री राम। सुशीला बहन दलसिंह भाई डामोर। संयोजक जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। संयोजक शास्त्री भाई बाभोर।
आचार्य मगन देवड़ा। जय श्री राम। सुरेश दशरथ गारी। जय श्री राम। प्रवीण दशरथ गारी। जय श्री राम। नाम बोला।
सुरेश भाई उर्मिला बहन। जय श्री राम।
राजू भाई दशरथ भाई। जय श्री राम।
तो ये आज हमारी टीम में जुड़े हुए हैं, उन लोगों का परिचय करवाया। अभी जो हमारे साथ में जो अपनी संयोजिका है, वो संयोजिका हमको बताएगी कि ग्राम जीवन कैसा है यहाँ भारत देश का, उसके बारे में अभी हम ग्राम दर्शन करते हैं। तो यहाँ से शुरुआत करें पशुपालन की ओर से। चलो आगे सब।
So I will give the commentary. So आपको गुजराती में बोलने का धीरे से बोलना। Okay, so we are making a tour.
बोलो। आप बेसो बताओ।
Okay, so
बोलो डायरी।
he is joining right now.
बोलो बोलो।
Yes.
जय श्री राम।
Okay.
आरोग्य फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया।
ओके, आप बात करके आगे बढ़ो, आपको बोलना नहीं है शंकर भाई।
जवाबदारी हूँ।
हाँ,
आपने हमने
बोलना नहीं, खाली बढ़ना है।
आपने आगे बढ़ो, दिखाते, मैं दिखाता हूँ, मैं उनको समझाता हूँ
जी। हाँ जी,
हाँ जी। So we are going through a tour of the village. So let's take the tour of the village. Okay, so you can see that they tie their animals in front of their yard, and most of the people eat what is given to them, usually from the what we call the grass. So you can keep on going further. आगे बढ़ो। अच्छा, तो now so आगे बढ़ो, आप करो। So there is a small temple in the village. You can see the temple with a flag on it, and that is typically of a temple. You can see that most of the village streets are not paved. But this village has definitely lot of greenery because monsoon season is just over. You can आगे बढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो, आप आगे बढ़ो.
ये पेड़
हाँ, अच्छा,
बोर्ड का है.
आप हाँ, अच्छा. So this is a tree where it raises some of the what we call fruits, which are round, and it is only seasonal fruit. Okay.
Okay.
તમારી જોડે વાત કરવા કે છે એમ.
Okay. मैं समझाता हूँ. अच्छा. So she is taking out that fruit. Okay. समझ में आ गया. वो fruit है.
કેમેરા લાવો નથી એમ કે છે.
કેમેરા તમે આગળ લઈ જાઓ ધીમે ધીમે. Now you can see the calf, and most of the economy. Yeah, आप चलो आगे चलो, मैं दिखाता हूँ. Okay, so you can see the entire village economy is based on animals. Most of the time they are connected with animals. So this house has animals tied on the side, and part of the house is not finished. Most of the houses, as you see, lot of things are related to farm are really piled up here. Some of these things are used for plowing the land. So these are all animals here, both the cow and buffalo, and they basically keep the containers. Now this is the way how they have the ground. Now you can see that there is a water on the street, which is a very much source of there. They store the water in this kind of what we call a metal container. Now they are available in plastic too. Old one used to be metal, now they are mostly plastic. But you can see the water is already on the ground and they have to go through the water. They are going through the water. Most of the houses have electricity. So you see the pole of light. So electricity is available in most of the villages. When you take a trip further down the village, how they actually wash it. So from the water tank, they take the water out and they do all kind of washing the clothes. So washing the clothes is one of the chores. It is done outside the house and they basically have this. So आप आगे बढ़ो. मैं दिखाता हूँ.
नहीं आगे.
आप अपने आगे बढ़ो. Okay. So lot of time all those husks from their farming is stored in a pile like this, usually on the side of the house or on the roof of the house. And this is used for animal feed. So you will see that this is all used for animal feed all the time. अच्छा, okay, you can go further. आप आगे बढ़ सकते हो. शंकर भाई, आपने आगे बढ़ो.
हाँ जी.
आगे बढ़ो. Okay. Okay. So here there are two of them. Okay. So you can see the cow, and they basically respect the cow. Sometimes they decorate their cow. You can see that they have tied with some kind of decoration on their face. Okay. આ શણગારી છે ગાયને શું કરવી છે આજે?
હા, ગાય આ બળદ છે. એને પૂજા કરે અને એને વર્ષમાં એની પૂજા કરે અને આ રીતે સિંગડાને શણગારવામાં આવે છે સાહેબ.
Okay, so they basically
દિવસે.
Yeah, so they definitely worship the cow on certain occasions. And then you can see that they decorate by putting special decoration on their horn. Okay, most of the houses, when you see this thing right now, this is made out of cow dung. So a lot of this cow dung is mixed with some straw, and mixing the straw and drying up. This is basically called fuel they use for our kindle the fire. So that is called chanu. In Gujarati, they call it chanu. Yes, but this is how they use it. And I remember very remotely myself that that's what we used to do to boil the water in the morning. Now that's okay. Some of the houses are made of cement, but most of the houses will not be. Okay, so you can pass or you can આપણે આગળ વધો ધીમે ધીમે આખું ગામનું ચક્કર મારવાનું છે આપણું ગામ દેખાશે देखो now see what is the mess. So recently there was a rain 3 days ago and it has made the main street muddy, and that mud part he did not show us. આપણું ગામમાં રસ્તામાં પાણી બતાવો તમે કાદવ કાદવ છે હું સમજાવું છું વાંધો નહીં આવો તમને શંકરભાઈ. Okay, so you are going through this what we call mud. કેમ આ બધું કીચડ થઈ ગયો છે ગામમાં?
આજે સાહેબ પાણી આવ્યું છે એટલા માટે.
Oh wow,
નળ ચાલુ છે નળ.
Okay, they come every day or
ઘરે ઘરે નળ છે.
Okay,
ઘરે ઘરે નળ છે સાહેબ.
પણ આ પાણીનો દુરુપયોગ થાય છે ને આપણે નળ છે પણ આપણે પાણીનો આપણે પાણી કઈ રીતે નળમાંથી જાય છે. Okay, so now most of the roof are made of so these are the roof. Okay, so આપણે ઉપરના okay, most of the houses are basically given this kind of handprint when they do what we call a marriage or a good occasion. It's a good occasion, marriage. A lot of kids might have known this one. And now you can see that some of them are not even houses, they are made of shackle, but they store here animals. So here they see you see the sheep. So sheep are stored. So buffalo, cows, sheep and goat. And some places you will find the chicken. These are all have their own small, what they call place to keep them safe. So they are not hurt. Now you might able to see the stone house. આપણે આ પથ્થર વાળું મકાન છે પથ્થરની દિવાલ હોય એવું.
આ સાહેબ પેલું એનું ઊન બતાવતા હતા ઘેટાનું ઊન છે ને એ કાપીને આમાં ઢગલો કર્યો છે પછી આ વેચી દે અને એના ગરમ કપડા બને.
Yeah, that is good. So they are basically have taken the wool out of the sheep and they are going to sell it in the market from that wool. So most of the time they make sweater and cap from this kind of wool. Now they have stored here આ બધું બનાવીને ઢગલો કર્યો છે.
નહીં એટલે એમના શરીર ઉપર જે વર્ષ દરમિયાન જે બાલ મોટા થઈ જાય ને ઊન
ના
એ બધા એ બધા કાપીને મૂકે.
પણ આનો ઢગલો કર્યો છે એ લોકોએ.
પેલા કોથળામાં ભરી રાખ્યું છે સાહેબ.
Okay, so they have stored in a bag to sell it outside, but you can see some of the part of their house they have made out of stone. આ પથ્થરનું છે અહીંયા.
પથ્થરનું છે સાહેબ.
Okay, so many of the old style houses are made out of stone. આપણે આગળ વધીએ ગામમાં. આપણે આગળ વધીએ. Let's go for a little bit more walk. Do you have a school in the village? Any school in the village? ગામમાં સ્કૂલ છે? શંકરભાઈ? ઓકે, આપણી ગામની સ્કૂલ હોય, પોસ્ટ ઓફિસ હોય, પંચાયતનું મકાન હોય, Any of those buildings are available?
એ બધું દૂર છે સાહેબ.
ઓકે, આપણે થોડું ચાલવાનું તો રાખો ગામમાં, બીજું બધું જે કંઈ બતાવો આપણે ગામ તો બતાવવાનું દૂરથી. આપણે ચાલતા હોય ને આગળ જોખાય ધીમે ધીમે આપણે. તો તમે ચાલવાનું રાખો. કેમેરા વાળા ઉભા રહી ગયા છે. કેમેરા વાળા કેમ ઉભા રહી ગયા? કેમેરો ફ્રીઝ થઈ ગયો લાગે છે. So look like the camera is frozen from the internet connection.
આમાં દેખાય છે સાહેબ?
No, હવે કેમેરો ફ્રીઝ થઈ ગયો છે. કેમેરામાં કોઈ
દેખાય છે આમાં?
ના,
સર
કઈ
આમાં દેખાય છે?
ના, કઈ દેખાતું નથી.
કઈ નથી દેખાય. આમાં દેખાય છે ને સાહેબ મારા કેમેરામાં?
ના, એક ક્ષણ દેખાય છે પણ તમે આગળ નથી વધ્યા. તમારો કેમેરામાં પિક્ચર પિક્ચર એને જ પિક્ચર છે, બદલાતું નથી. પિક્ચર બદલાતું નથી. હા, એટલે પિક્ચર ફ્રોઝ થઈ ગયું છે. It is frozen in the position. Okay. So it is frozen. No. કઈ દેખાતું નથી. જે છે ફ્રોઝન છે.
એ હવે શું કરવું પડે?
તો આપણે ફરીથી એને કદાચ ચિંતા નહીં કરવાની. તમારે આગળ જાઓ અને લેટ્સ સી ગેલેરીમાંથી. I think so it is frozen. શંકરભાઈ તમારો વિડિયો બંધ છે. ઓકે. 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 ગુડ ગુડ ગુડ. ના, ચાલુ નથી થયું. ફરીથી બંધ કરીને ફરી ચાલુ કરો, વાંધો નહીં. Okay, we can give some time. You can take few minutes while we will discuss with them. Okay.
દેખાય છે સાહેબ?
ના, દેખાતું નથી. તમારું ફ્રીઝ થઈ ગયું છે શંકરભાઈ. તમે બંધ કરીને ફરીથી ચાલુ કરો. ઓકે. ઓકે, કઈ ભલા બંધ કરી દો અને ફરીથી ચાલુ કરો. You can come in. So we are saying the village. Actually, we have taken a tour of village for 20 minutes. I want you to. Anybody has seen the Indian village before? You can unmute it.
Yeah.
Okay, Pranay, what you can add on into that village?
It was not much. I think it was in like specifically it was like in Telangana state, Chandur district, or Nalgonda, yeah, Chandur, and it was like a lot of the same. It wasn't as much livestock. It was because like the Deccan Plateau is more like arid.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't see much like farming, but yeah, like a lot of the housing and the architecture was very similar.
Okay, so most of them are pretty much similar. Anybody else wants to tell me who have visited India and gone into the remote village?
I've been to the village and I know that I've seen a lot of animals there that are like chickens and dogs that roam around free, but also there's lots of garden area for fruits and vegetables.
Okay, so we will definitely visit those people to encourage. That is very, very important point. Anybody else wants to give input or questions about this? Anybody has any questions here? Okay, Shankar bhai, તમારો આવી ગયું.
હા
શંકર, હા, હવે બતાવો થોડું. યા, હવે આવી ગયું. તમે હવે હવે તમે બતાવો અમને. Show me the. Okay.
આ જુઓ સાહેબ.
Okay.
કેનાલ, પાણી, water.
Okay. Okay, so that is a drain system. પાણીનો નિકાલ માટે બનાવ્યું છે.
નહીં, આ ખેતીના ઉપયોગ માટે પાણીની કેનાલ છે નાની, માઇનોર.
ઓકે, ક્યાંથી આવે છે? નદીમાંથી આવે છે? ડેમમાંથી. ઓકે, કયો ડેમ છે? કયો નર્મદાપુરનો ડેમ છે?
मासन डैम।
मासन डैम कौन सा डैम है इधर?
मासन डैम है।
बोल जोशी।
मासन डैम है, मासन।
समझन पड़ेगी शंकर. Okay, so they are showing the channel which is supplying the water to the farmland here. So this is coming from one of the river and this is one of the small channel which supplies the water. So that is through the dam on a river. So you can definitely see that it has effect on fertility of the ground because they have ample water. આપણે ક્યાં જઈએ છે? તમે ઘાસ બતાવો છો? કેમેરો ઉપર રાખો.
ઘાસ નહીં, ઘઉંની ખેતી છે સાહેબ.
Oh, શું વાત છે?
વેટ ઘઉં.
Okay, એટલે this is a crop for the what we call not a regular crop. This is a winter crop and a siyadu park. A winter crop, they are growing the wheat, but you can see that how they are not making that much effective growth, so their yield might be less. અને આ બાજુમાં શું છે? મકાઈ છે?
હા, એ મકાઈ છે સાહેબ.
Okay, so nearby there is a corn, and that is called our sweet corn. Usually in India, they make it for sweet corn. એટલે આપણી મીઠી મકાઈ છે, બરાબર? Okay, so now you can see they plowing done methodically. So they are having this wheat. So the wheat is planted, and that will be available in few weeks. So all the Arogya Sevikas or the healthcare workers are get together. I asked them. So they put the rocks to cross the canal. You saw that they put the stones or what we call a broken cement plates. They have done it. Okay, good. Okay, good. So these are the workers who have come and they are watching while we are taking the tour of the village. Okay, can you go further? बोलो.
ये जो मेरे सामने खड़े हैं मुकेश जी हैं, यहाँ के प्रशिक्षक जी हैं, पूरे एकल संभाग के.
अच्छा, मुकेश भाई, जय श्री राम.
जय श्री राम करो. जय श्री राम. हाथ जोड़ के करो.
जय श्री राम. बहुत સરસ. ઓકે, અને આપણી જોડે કોણ છે ભાઈ?
દલસુખભાઈ હે, દલસુખ जी.
હા, દલસુખભાઈ ઓળખાણ પડી.
જય શ્રી રામ.
જય શ્રી રામ, ઓળખાણ પડી હવે, ચહેરો દેખાયો.
ये अपने शंकर जी है.
हाँ, शंकर जी तो મળેલા છે. શંકરજી ને મળેલા છે.
अभी 2 शंकर हो गए इधर.
I know, ये शंकर जी ने फिर आपने. Good. So these are the people I have worked with them. So હવે ગામમાંથી આપણે ચાલીએ, ચાલતા ગામમાં નીકળી જઈએ. આપણે ખાલી ગામ બતાવવાનું છે. આપણે ધીમે આપણે બહુ ડિસ્ક્રિપ્શન આપવાનું નથી. કેટલી વસ્તી હશે? હાઉ મચ પોપ્યુલેશન? ગામની વસ્તી કેટલી હશે?
અહીંયા 750 જેટલી છે સાહેબ.
એટલે 150 થી ઘર હશે એમ ને? 750 વસ્તી.
750.
ઓકે, એટલે
કેટલા 100 ઘરો છે?
ના વધારે.
કેટલા ઘરો છે ગામમાં?
લગભગ
150 ઘર.
150 ઘર, બરાબર. હા, એટલે 5 એવરેજ.
હા, 150 થી 200 ની વચ્ચે. ઓકે, અને જોયું ને, this is what the problem happens in India is when the water comes, sometimes the water actually goes on the street because they do not have way to conserve and not to spill it. Most of the vehicles are used here are bike. You can see the housing made of cement. Sometimes they are made of corrugated material, like this is a corrugated material. આપણે પતરા નાખેલા છે, બરાબર? ઓકે, શંકરભાઈ આગળ વધો. આપણે તો ઉભા રહી ગયા, તમારું ફ્રીઝ થઈ જાય છે એમ ને?
સ્કૂટર there, motorcycle and scooter, right?
Yeah, they are freeze that way.
દેખાય છે સાહેબ?
Yeah, દેખાય છે. તમે આગળ વધો, પણ આ
દેખાય છે સાહેબ?
દેખાય છે ખરું, પણ ફ્રીઝ થઈ જાય. ઓકે, ગુડ. તમારે ફેરવવાનું અને આગળ વધવાનું. Now this building has a 2-story house. આ મકાન 2 story છે. That's very, and there are someone who has a 3rd story too on the top. So આપણે ગામમાંથી પસાર થાઓ. Let's go to the village. ગામમાંથી પસાર થાઓ. Okay, so now you can see some of the houses are newly built in last 25 years, which has come. ઓકે અને હજુ યા આપણે હું વાત છે તે પાણી પાણી કરી દીધું છે. Whole town is full of water because they supply the water.
शॉप है, छोटा सा शॉप है.
Yeah, that is just like a corner store in the hub.
Hasmukh, what happens is when they make the road in the town, they don't make a way for the drainage. This is what we see lot of places.
Yes. So they basically make a main road like this. So there is no adequate drain for the water.
બહેનોને બહાર રહેવા
કઈ વાંધો નહીં. સેવિકા બહેનોને આપણે ત્યાં મળવું છે હવે. આપણે ત્યાં જઈએ જ્યાં જવાનું છે ત્યાં.
એક મિનિટ.
ઓકે શંકરભાઈ,
હા
હવે આપણે અહીંયા બંધ કરીશું.
વિદ્યાલય દર્શન
ના, આપણે અત્યારે હમણાં 10 મિનિટ બ્રેક લઈ અને ફરીથી 10 મિનિટ પછી તમે જે જગ્યાએ સેવિકાઓ બધાને ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન આપીશું.
હાજી હાજી
બરાબર ને? આ બધું બતાવીશ આ બધાને. These are the stones which are done for people who are dead, those who have dead in the past.
ये एकल के स्टूडेंट आ रहे हैं.
अच्छा, कई वांधो नहीं. આપણે
10 મિનિટ નો રેસ્ટ છે.
હા, 10 મિનિટનો બ્રેક લઈએ પછી મળીએ. ઓકે, તો 10 minutes you can turn it off. Okay, now we can get રામ
આપણું ચાલે છે.
Okay, so તમારું you can mute the Tanya, you can mute the Shankar bhai. Okay, good. And everybody else is unmute. Let Shankar bhai get mute, everybody else is unmuted. Wow, what a tour you have. What are the mess you see? I think so we need to kind of explain people what we saw in the village. Anybody wants to give their take on it? Let's see. Divya, what do you want to say about your impression, village?
I really liked the village, but I think one of the main problems was the water, because it was everywhere and it may not be clean. So stepping in it could be a danger.
So that is one issue we are dealing with them. So education is needed. What about Devaki? What do you want to say?
Oh, I was kind of surprised by how green it was. I wasn't expecting it to be so lush like that.
Okay, so the answer is that they have a canal water is coming to town from the dam. One of the very small canal is going through the town. Very good point. Tanya, you want to say anything? What is your take on it?
Yeah, I thought the canal part was really interesting, especially how they had like the cement blocks over it. And I was wondering like if that could sometimes be a little unsafe. And then I also wanted to know what the population was and how many houses they said they were there.
Yeah, so they said there's a 750 population, between 150 to 200 houses. So that will be the village is located. We saw the location in the daytime meeting. It's in northeastern part of Gujarat state. Gujarat is actually west part of India. And this town is very close to the border between another states. Because of their remote location, they definitely have certain issues. But you first look at it, their economy is agriculture-based economy. That's right. Abhishek, what is your take on it?
I thought it was interesting that they had multi-story houses and like little stores. It made it feel like, yeah, it was a village, but it was a little bit of like a modern take on a village. You know, they had the agriculture economy, but they still had infrastructure that looked like you would find in, you know, less village-like areas.
Yeah, that is good. That is very good. That's a good point you brought. That modernization is happening. How about Vanya? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I was really interested by the water jugs, like the blue metal containers that you talked about that were like placed outside of the people's houses. I was wondering, is that the water they drink out of, or is that used for like washing like dishes or something? Like, what is the purpose of those water?
Okay, so what I understood that they get drinking water from outside. So they may not have what they call hand pumps. What I understood that they get water once or twice a week. Okay, and they have these containers, they store the water. So even though a lot of water is wasted, water is a very important commodity, and that is they're dependent from outside sources. And yes, definitely they use the water to drink. I don't know exact detail. Some places they do have a deep bores where the water comes out and they use for drinking. But otherwise, commonly used water, this is the water they use. Lot of time they take the animals to the nearby pond. Usually they don't drink in here. They usually take them outside for gazing and they drink the water from that pond. Nowadays, most of the time government educates them that you do not use the same water where the animals drink, and you do not wash your clothes there, or you do not take the bath, because that is hygiene part. So the Clean India, which we talked about earlier, they have made a lot of people aware that how to prevent the waterborne diseases. It's a very good point. Mukta, you want to say anything?
I think it's really interesting how self-sufficient they are as a village, that they don't really need much of an outside influence other than that regarding medical issues.
Okay, so that's one of the part which India had for many, many centuries, that many of this village, they used to call Gram Swaraj. I mean, they are fully independent. So their economy and lot of people, lot of those, not only farming, but all other kind of skill they need, even weaving the clothes or using this, what we saw, the wool here from the sheep, or they can make their own rope to make a what for the use. And they have all their, but yes, they use very simple tools. So it was labor intensive. That is very true. What about Mana? Go ahead, Abhishek.
Yeah, I had a question on, so when we saw some of the kids run by, I saw them wear jeans and like sweaters. So do they get those types of clothing from the government or from other NGOs?
No. This is all, people own it, people purchase it. Many of the stores like in India, you will be surprised. But this is what they do learn to sew, and sewing is done locally. Yes, as you said that some of the buildings have 2 or 3 stories. So now a lot of things are available. India is catching up. So a lot of things are ready-made for children. Yes, some of them might be, they may not able to afford the new one. So they have called second-hand shop, and they also buy from that. Or it may not be fitting right size. But that's part of it. But they basically have the clothes. India is, if you go back to history, India was very much ahead in terms of growing the cotton and making the cotton clothes and also that fabric. And then, so all of those things you see, Indian saris, I mean, they're not only for cotton, they were also very much on the silk too, and other things. So, so India had a robust economy even before the British came to India. It's a very, very important part. How about Omkar? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting in terms of hygiene. You can see why they have some issues, like they all live in close close proximity of all the animals, and it's that, I mean, that sure has to be unhygienic, but also I thought it was just very impressive to see how resourceful they have to be. Like they use the cow dung for fuel, they use the leftover cement blocks to build bridges, and it was just very impressive.
Very good observation. What about Nikita? What's your take on it?
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, the diversity of the animals and how it could be a great resource there and source of income. One thing I just like had a question about was like I didn't notice a lot of people wearing masks. So is like COVID
in the villages, you will not find the mask. In villages, villages have really tried to isolate from them. They don't go out and nobody comes in. Most likely, they will wear the mask if they have to go out of the town or meet people from outside. Village is like a big family. Good observation, Nikita. That's a good. Manali, what do you want to say?
I thought it was very interesting seeing the how they get access to water and seeing how they kind of use the materials around them to set up their village, and like everyone was saying how resourceful it is. I was wondering how since they live very closely to all the animals and the livestock, how is like education being given on hygiene and if like any diseases are spread through contact animals all the time?
Yeah, so it's a very good. What about Aditya? You want to say anything?
I thought it was cool to see like the people there and their architecture, and I mean how everyone said like that how they've used like their resources to their advantage, and the water definitely looked like a problem like that was on the ground. But
so that must be happening every week, because every week they get this water.
Yeah. But I had a question that like does the whole village use, like I get the whole village uses the farm, but like who exactly owns or like runs the farm? Is it like government owned or is it like someone's private property?
99% of the farming, government does not own the farming. Everybody owns a piece of land.
Oh, okay.
Depends upon, and compared to here, they are very, very small. So if you are getting an acre of land, is lot of land for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are some people who are well off and they might be owning 3, 4, 5 acre land. Other people might be owning half an acre land. And but usually most of the people in the village, either they make their own home or their what they call cottage or a shackle, depends upon it. Yes, there are few people who may not be farmer, but most of them, they consider themselves a farmer. We call it kisan. And they definitely grow whatever they can grow. Many of them may not be growing because their land may not be that fertile. And sometimes they basically depend on doing labor work. Lot of young people might be right now with the COVID, they are not, but many of them are going called seasonal worker. So they might go for time being during the what we call construction time, they will go. So we are really here. So now we are going to go to the Ekal school. So we will be joining the Ekal school. So Shankar Bhai, we will bring them on the screen. Shankar Bhai,
જય શ્રી રામ.
બરાબર છે. બે કેમેરા ગોઠવી દો બરાબર. આ રેડમી કેમેરા બંધ કર્યો, બંને કેમેરા ગોઠવી દો એટલે આપણને બંનેમાંથી દેખાય છે. આપણે શંકરભાઈના કેમેરાને ફોકસ કરીશું. We will try to bring them. Redmi will keep it quiet. Shankar Bhai, you want to put your camera as the speaker camera? Let's put the Shankar Bhai's camera as a viewer. Good. આ બાજુ કપાઈ ગયો છે થોડો કેમેરામાં. કોઈનો વચ્ચે નડો છો કોઈ? કેમેરાની વચ્ચે કોઈ નડે છે?
It's a finger. It's finger.
Good. Okay, good. Let's focus it. Don't move the camera. So you are seeing that they are in the front of somebody's house and the kids are sitting in the front. All the healthcare workers are asked to come and join us today. So they are sitting in a group. I think so 10 or 12 of them are sitting there in the back. Other people who have come, which are called our workers, have joined us today. So it is in the front porch of the house. આપણે એના પર જ ફોકસ આપણે છોકરાઓ પર ફોકસ કરો. ફક્ત છોકરાઓને બતાવવાના છે, બીજા કોઈને બતાવવાના નથી. બસ આપણે કેમેરા ફિક્સ રાખો, હલાવવાનું નથી. કેમેરાને ફિક્સ રાખો. So I can see the focus picture. Good. અને આપણે કેમેરાને સ્થિર રાખો. આપણે શંકરભાઈ કેમેરાને સ્થિર રાખો. કેમેરો હલાવવાનો નથી.
કેમેરા એક જગ્યાએ પકડી રાખો.
એક જગ્યાએ આપણે સ્ટેન્ડ આપેલું છે તમને. શંકરભાઈ કેમેરાને સ્ટેન્ડ ઉપર મૂકી દો. Good. Now let's listen to the prayer. The kids are in a position to do the prayer. Okay, they are doing actually prayer. I cannot hear it, but Shankar Bhai is trying to work on it. Look like he's not getting the voice. He's working on it. That's good. So you are basically trying to see again whether they can make it again. Any other camera is there beside that, Tanya? There is another one which are showing up. I don't know whether gallery view has something to show, because they were showing two cameras. Okay, here is Redmi. So let the Redmi can show them. They should have focused that one because they have two camera. Let's put that camera for the speaker. Good. Okay, good. આપણે બધાને ફોટા લેવાનું બંધ રાખો, શંકરભાઈ. Good. Okay, good. Everybody is sitting there. આપણે okay, they are already talking about or they are singing. I can see.
પ્રાર્થના કરે છે.
Okay. પણ સંભળાતું નથી. We are not able to hear the voice. Like typical house, you can see that they have a storage here. There is a water storage containers. Good.
Unmute करो એને Redmi ने.
प्रार्थना स्थिति. हाथ जोड़े आंखों बंद करो.
Unmute कर सम्राट.
प्रार्थना स्थिति.
बंदा फरी चालू कर. बंदा ना फरी चालू कर पहले.
So camera does not capture.
એને unmute કરો એને unmute. આ mute છે.
No. Okay.
गायत्री मंत्र गायत्री मंत्र को ओम भूर्भुवः स्वस्तिको भर्गो देवस्य
ઓકે, આપણે એમને છોકરાઓને આપણે પેલી બાજુ આપણે ફેરવી દો કેમેરા રેડમીને. શંકરભાઈ ઓકે, સરસ છે. આપણે આચાર્ય તરફ કેમેરા ફેરવી દો શંકરભાઈ. Okay. So Tanya, you can Redmi, you can quiet down. You can mute the Redmi. Okay. Now you can see the front side of them. Good. Good. So we are seeing that. Wow. શંકરભાઈ તમારો કેમેરા ફિટ કરો. રેડમી ને નહીં, આપણે રેડમી ને હમણાં બંધ રાખો. તમારો કેમેરા ટેબલ કરી દો. Okay. So now you are seeing the kids singing the prayer. Usually every time school starts, they basically have a discipline by having the prayer, and they also remember, and the prayer is about thanking them, actually the country. The country is known as Mother India. So Bharat Ma. So they are basically having this kid coming up. Now let's listen to them.
हम सब भारत माँ के संतान हैं। आज भारत माँ के आँखों में आंसू है। आज भारत माँ के आँखों में आंसू है। हम माँ के आंसू पोंछेंगे। हम माँ के आंसू पोंछेंगे। हम धरती को ताकत जगाएंगे। हम धरती को ताकत जगाएंगे। हम देश को सुखी बनाएंगे। हम देश को सुखी बनाएंगे।
So this is a very important prayer which actually instills in the children that they are proud children of the Mother India. And they want to make them, by making their country, their land fertile, and they will make the country great again. So that's a very interesting prayer they do every morning. Go ahead. આપણે શંકરભાઈ શંકરબેન અનમ્યુટ કરી દો તો સારું રહેશે. આપણે હવે આચાર્યને બતાવો, આચાર્ય કઈ રીતે બાળકોને શીખવાડે છે કઈ રીતે.
ત્યાં નહીં આવે.
બાળકોને આ બાજુ આપણો કેમેરા ફેરવી દો. હા, શંકરભાઈ તમારો કેમેરા બતાવો. ગુડ, સરસ. ના ના, બરાબર છે, બરાબર છે, બરાબર છે. આપણે થોડો ક્લોઝઅપ લઈ જાઓ. બરાબર. ઓકે.
ઝૂમ કરો. ગુજરાતી આપણે લખીશું અક્ષરો પરથી શબ્દ. બરાબર, તો અહીંયા અક્ષરો લખીએ.
ઓકે, આપણે ઓકે.
હસમુખ, ઘરમાં લાઈટ હોય તો લાઈટ ચાલુ કરાવો.
લાઈટ તો ઘરમાં લાઈટ નથી અત્યારે, દિવસ છે. શંકરભાઈ ચૂપ રહો, તમે મ્યુટ કરી દો. ઓકે,
કયું ગામ છે હસમુખ?
આપણું 3 માંથી એક ગામ છે, તમને કહી દઉં. જાલોદની બાજુમાંનું છે ગામ.
ત્યાં તો લાઈટ ફૂલ હોવું જોઈએ, બધે લાઈટ, ઘરમાં કઈ લાઈટ ચાલુ કરી શકે તો દેખાય બરાબર.
ઘરની બહાર જ છે, પ્રકાશ જ છે મોટા ભાઈ. ઇટ ઇઝ અ સની ડે આઉટ ધેર. એટલે ગામનું નામ તો મને ખબર છે,
બોર્ડ દેખાતું નથી એટલે એને લાઈટ કરતો કરી શકાય ભાઈ.
બરાબર છે, ધેટ ઇઝ ટ્રુ. કહ્યું અમને. એટલે આ મગાની સર કરીને ગામ છે, મગાની સર. ચાલો, ઓકે, સારું. માંડલી ખૂટા ગામનું નામ છે, માંડલી ખૂટા નામ છે. જોયું? વિષય ગુજરાતી, એકલ વિદ્યાલય. અને આ રમ રગ રન. ઓકે, રન મગ નગ. ઓકે, okay.
They make the words out of them.
Yes. So from alphabet, they are teaching how to make 2-letter, 3-letter words. So that is. So we are actually.
દશરથલાલ, બરોબર ને? આ એક શબ્દ છે, એ શબ્દ પરથી આપણે 10 શબ્દ. હવે તમારે હું બોલું છું 10. શું લખ્યું? 10. ચાલો તમે બોલો.
they are playing a game, how many different words you can make from one large word. So they are making different. Just like here, they have a 10-letter word and you can make few new words out of them. So they are having the fun to how to make different words out of it. Just like we have already here, like character. So you can make mud car out of character, or you can make CAT cat, or so these all different kids are asked to make the words, and different people are adding different alphabets and making the word. So that is how they make the words. So I'm enjoying the game, how they are doing. આપણે બાળકોને ગણિતનું શીખવાડવું છે. Let them do numbers adding. Okay. આપણે ગણિતનું કરીએ આપણે થોડું. શંકરભાઈ, શક્ય હોય તો. Shankarbhai mute che. He's muted already because of the noise. Let's unmute it. Tanya, I don't know why they are muted. They are muted there, Tanya?
Yeah, they're muted, but I can't unmute them.
So we have to ask them to unmute, huh? Okay.
બાળકો તો પેલું
346 હવે આ સરવાળો આપણે કરવાનો.
Okay, I think so. They have a little challenge in that's good. I think so. They are kind of looking at it. We can have a while they are fixing. Let's hear about the school. Okay, they are working on it. Okay, good. Let's focus again back, Tanya, on that. One for the see whether they can. Good. Shankarbhai, તમારું રેડમી નો અનમ્યુટ કરો દો.
800 ને
અનમ્યુટ કરો, અનમ્યુટ કરો.
શંકરભાઈ,
હાજી.
હવે મારે આચાર્ય જોડે વાતચીત કરવી છે. આચાર્ય જોડે વાતચીત કરવી છે.
એક મિનિટ. હા, મ્યુટ ખોલો. ખોલ્યું. સાહેબ, ઓ સાહેબ, તમે અહીંયા નજીક આવો. તમારી સાથે વાત કરવા માંગે છે, કાઢી નાખો. બોલો સાહેબ.
બરાબર.
નંબર કરાવે છે.
ઓકે, ઓકે. ઓકે. આપણે બાળકોને બોર્ડ ઉપર લખવા માટે બોલાવો.
બાળકોને બોર્ડ માટે લખવાનું છે. હા, લખી રહ્યા સાહેબ.
ઓકે, ગુડ. તમે તમારા મ્યુટ કરી દો. શંકરભાઈ, તમને રેડમી ને મ્યુટ કરી દો.
રેડમી ને મ્યુટ કરું.
યા, તમારું મ્યુટ છે. બસ, ગુડ. બસ, સરસ.
સરવાળા બાદબાકી કરે છે.
ઓકે, ગુડ. બાળકોને કરવા દો જે કરે છે. તમે ચાલુ, એમના આચાર્ય ચાલુ રાખે.
જોરથી બોલો જરા.
ચાલો, કોણ ગણશે આ દાખલો?
પણ આ કેમેરો છે ને એ ફિરાય રહેવાનું.
કઈ વાંધો નહીં, બરાબર છે. એવરીથિંગ ઇઝ બરાબર છે.
8 ને 4 12 ને 13 તગડો 20 3 9 9 ને 10. ચાલો, આ સંખ્યા વાંચવાની છે. કોણ વાંચશે? જેને આવડે તે આંગળી દર કરો.
અવાજ સંભળાય છે સાહેબ?
સંભળાય છે.
તઈ જઈને બોલો, તઈ જઈને, તઈ જઈને. અરે તઈ જઈને બોલો.
નહીં સંભળાય છે શંકરભાઈ, સંભળાય છે.
ફરીથી બોલ, ધીરેથી બોલ, કોઈ પકડતું નથી.
10,320.
સરસ. હવે બાદ બાકી लीजिए.
So they are learning the mathematics part. First they take the letters. Now they give mathematics. Okay.
બોલતો જાય સાઈડ થી બોલ. જોરથી બોલ, જોરથી બોલ. 9 માંથી 4 જાય કેટલા રહે?
9 માંથી 4 જાય તો
5. હાર્દિક બરોબર. હવે ઉપર કેટલા છે? 8.
8 માંથી 3 કાઢે તો
12. તમે નહીં બોલો. હા
ચલો એક કાઢે તો
ચાલો આ જવાબ કોણ વાંચશે? એટલે બીજા આગળ આવીને વાંચ.
એ કાર્ડ નાખો તમે, કાર્ડ.
કેટલો જવાબ આવ્યો?
They have a 4-digit to do subtract, 4-digit. So that's good. Okay. So say that. Shankar, કોઈ બાળકને ચોપડી વંચાવી હોય તો પુસ્તક વંચાવવાનું શરૂ કરો. શંકરભાઈ, કોઈને પુસ્તક વાંચવાનું આપો. પુસ્તક વાંચવા માટે છોકરાને આગળ મોકલો. તમારો આ ફોન ફ્રીઝ થઈ ગયો છે. શંકરભાઈનો ફોન ફ્રીઝ થઈ ગયો છે. ગુડ. We are getting a good. Can we go on a gallery view? I think so. We will definitely put that camera. They are both on mute. Let's have some talk about it, each other. Now we saw the school. So what is your take on it? Let's hear from everybody. Hardik, you want to say anything about the school?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great to like watch, because I mean, looking at the stark difference, I guess, I don't know, like just watching everything that we've seen from the village and the school, I think it's crazy because
okay, we can unmute it. You can mute them. Okay, let's listen to the kid. He's reading.
સૌરાષ્ટ્રમાં ઝાલાવાડી, હાલારી, સૌરઠી, ગોહિલવાડીના ભેદો છે. તેમ દક્ષિણ ગુજરાતના ભરત, સુરત અને વલસાડ વિસ્તારમાં ભિન્ન ભિન્ન ઉચ્ચાર ભેદો સાંભળવામાં મળે છે. પરંતુ વ્યાપક રીતે જોઈએ તો ગુજરાતમાં મુખ્યત્વે 4 પ્રાદેશિક બોલીઓ છે. ઉત્તર ગુજરાતની પાટણ, સિદ્ધપુરા, મહેસાણાની પટણી બોલી, મધ્ય ગુજરાતની ખેડા, નડિયાદ, આણંદની ચરોતરી બોલી, દક્ષિણ ગુજરાતની ભરૂચ, સુરત, વલસાડ, દમણની સુરતી બોલી અને સૌરાષ્ટ્રની ઝાલવાડ, ગોહિલવાડ, સૌરઠ, હાલારની સૌરાષ્ટ્રની બોલી.
સરસ, સરસ, સરસ. Good.
મધ્ય ગુજરાતની ચરોતરી બોલી. ક્રિયાપદને અંતે ઉચ્ચારાતા ઈનું ઉચ્ચારણ અત્યંત હ્રસ્વ લગભગ અ જેવું થાય છે. ઉદાહરણ હું નિશાળે જાઉં છું. હું નિહાળ જાઉં છું. આનો ઉત્તર એ થાય છે ભાઈ ભે ભાઈ બે. આને સ્થાને ઓ ઉચ્ચારણ. ઉદાહરણ ગામ ગોમ પાણી પોણી આનો ઓનો માન મોન. ઈને સ્થાન એનો ઉચ્ચારણ નિશાળ નિહાળ. લીમડો તો લેબડો. ભેદ તો ભેદ. શબ્દને અંતે આવેલો અનુસાસી બોલાતો નથી. ઉદાહરણ જાઉં જવ કરું. લખવું ને લખવું. દક્ષિણ ગુજરાત ઉત્તર ગુજરાતની
ધન્ય રાધિકા.
કોઈને કહાની આવડે છે? કહાની વાર્તા
વાર્તા આવડે છે?
વાર્તા બોલો.
વાર્તા બોલી. હા ચાલ. ના તારે નહીં
બોલવા દો ને એને.
ભાવિકા વાર્તા કોઈ भी वार्ता.
कहानी बोल रहे हैं.
हाँ चल भाविका बोल तू बोल.
कहानी वो बच्ची बड़ी म्यूट रख दो म्यूट.
हाँ बोलते वार्ता. टुकी बहुत लांबी. हाँ जय श्री राम. अरे અહીં પ્રોગ્રામ ચાલે પછી ફોન કર.
તું વાત ચાલુ તમે હટી જાઓ. કટ કટ નાખો.
જોરથી.
એક ઉંદરને 7 બકરી.
હા આને હાલો.
आलसी लड़की और मेहनती लड़की. एक गांव में एक घर था. उस घर में 2 बेटियां रहती थी. एक आलसी लड़की और एक मेहनती लड़की. एक लड़की वो काम ही करती रहती थी और एक लड़की बैठी रहती थी. वो लड़की उसकी माँ उसे काम ही करती थी और दूसरी बेटी को काम नहीं कराती थी. और एक दिन उसने कहा तुम काम पे जाओ. तो वो लड़की काम पे गई. एक आगे जाते जाते उसे एक सूखा पेड़ मिला. उसने
आराम से बात करो. गुजराती में बोलो.
No. Let her speak in Hindi.
सूखा पेड़ मिला. सूखा पेड़ ने बोला मेरी सूखी टहनियों को तोड़ दो तू. मैं तेरे को कोई भी काम आऊंगा. तो वो लड़की बोली हाँ मैं तोड़ दूंगी. तो वो लड़की ऊपर पेड़ पर चढ़ के सारी सूखी टहनियां तोड़ दी और पेड़ ने उसका आभार माना और आगे चली. आगे एक अंगूर का पेड़ मिला. उसने कहा तू मेरी खुदाई कर दो. मैं तेरे भले में कुछ काम आऊंगा. वो लड़की आगे गई और उसे खुदाई कर दी और आगे चली. आगे एक कुआं मिला. उसने कहा तुम मुझे साफ कर दो. मैं तुम्हें बदले में कुछ काम आऊंगा. तो उस लड़की ने उसको साफ कर दिया और आगे चली तो एक कुआं आया. कुत्ता आया. उसने बोला तुम मुझे नहला दो. मैं तेरे कोई भी काम आऊंगा. तो उसने नहला दिया और खुद भी नहा लिया और आगे चले. तो बहुत रात हो गई थी. तो एक सामने एक हवेली दिखी. उस हवेली में गई तो उस हवेली में 7 परियां थी. उसने बोला कि मुझे एक रात रुकने दो. तो परियों ने पूछा तुम कहाँ जा रही थी, क्यों आई थी? तो लड़की ने कहा मैं काम पे आई थी और बहुत बाहर रात हो गई. मुझे यहाँ सोने दो एक रात के लिए. परियों ने बोला मैं तुम्हें काम दूंगा पर तुम 7 कमरों में हम 6 कमरे तू साफ करना रोज और 7वें कमरे में को जाना नहीं. और वो लड़की रोज 6 कमरे साफ करती थी और 7वें कमरे में कभी भी नहीं जाती थी. और एक दिन परियों ने बोला अब तू जा सकती है. तो उसने लड़की को पैसा दिया और परियों ने बोला रुक मैं तेरे लिए कुछ इनाम लाई हूँ. उस परियों ने पूछा कि तुम 7वें कमरे में क्यों नहीं जाती थी? तो लड़की ने कहा कि मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे ये कहा था कि कोई भी काम के तो मना नहीं करना और जो मना करे वो काम कभी भी नहीं करना चाहिए. तो परियों ने बोला तो 7वां कमरा खोला और उसमें सोना और चांदी थे। तो परियों ने बोला तुम इस पे लेटो और तुम्हारे पीठ पे जो भी सोना चांदी चिपकेगी वो तुम्हारा होगा। तो लड़की तो पीठ पे जो बहुत सारा सोना और चांदी पीट गया तो उसने पहन लिया और चलती बनी। और आगे एक अंगूर का पेड़ है, उसने बोला तुमने मेरी मदद की थी तो तुम लो ये अंगूर का रस पियो। उसने थोड़ा रस पी लिया और उसके पिताजी के लिए थोड़ा ले ली। आगे कुत्ता है, उसने बोला तुमने मेरी मदद की थी तो तुम जितनी चाहे उतनी मोतियां ले सकती हो। उसने मोतियां ले ली और उसने पिताजी के लिए भी ले ली। और फिर आगे गई तो उसे एक कुआं मिला, तुम जितना पानी पीते हो उतना पी लो। तो उसने पानी पी लिया। आगे जाके एक जमरूक का पेड़ मिला, उसने कहा तुम्हें जितने अमरूद गए उसने ले लो। तो उस लड़की ने इतने अमरूद ले लिए और आगे बढ़ी। आगे जाते जाते उसका घर आ गया। इसलिए पिताजी ने इसकी माँ तो ठेक गई इसके सोना चांदी देख के और उसकी छोटी बेटी को भी काट दिया काम पे। वो गई तो उसने सूखे पेड़ मिला आगे जाते जाते। तो उसने कहा तुम मेरी सूखी टहनियाँ खोल दो, मैं तेरे को भी काम आऊंगी। उस लड़की ने कहा मेरे हाथ गंदे हो जाएंगे, इसलिए उसने टहनियाँ नहीं तोड़ी और आगे चली। आगे एक अंगूर का पेड़ मिला, उसने कहा तुम मेरी खुदाई कर दो, मैं भले मैं तुम्हारा कुछ काम आऊंगी। तो उस लड़की ने बोला कि तुम खुद ही खोद लो, मेरे हाथ गंदे हो गए जाएंगे, ऐसा बोला। और आगे कुआं है, उसने कहा कि तुम मुझे साफ कर लो तो मैं तुम्हारे भले में कुछ काम आऊंगा। उस लड़की ने बोला तुम तो वो तुम्हारे जाते तुम साफ कर लो वो आगे। और एक कुत्ता मिला उसको उस कुत्ते ने बोला कि तुम मुझे साफ कर नहला दो, मैं फिर तुम्हारे बदले में कुछ काम आऊंगा। उसने बोला मेरे हाथ गंदे हो जाएंगे, मैं तुम्हें नहीं साफ करूंगी। उसने नहीं साफ किया और उसने एक हवेली में जाके रुकी। उसने बोला मैं काम पे आई हूँ, मुझे आज की रात यहाँ सोने दो। परियों ने बोला तुम यहाँ काम कर सकती हो। तो छठे रोज 6 कमरे को साफ करना और 7वें कमरे में कभी भी मत जाना। उस लड़की ने थोड़े दिन 6 कमरे साफ किए और 7वें कमरे में कुछ दिन बाद उसने कमरा खोला तो उसमें मधुमक्खी और देड़के थे। उसने भूमरों के उसे काट लिया और आगे चल के उसे अंगूर के पेड़ मिला। उसने इसकी मदद करने की मना कर दी थी। उसने बोला कि तुम मुझे थोड़ा रस दे दो, तो उसने मना कर दिया और चली बढ़ी आगे। एक अमरूद का पेड़ आया, उसने बोला कि मुझे एक फल दे दो। तो वो फल तोड़ने गए तो झाड़ ऊंचा हो गया और आगे चली। एक कुआं है तो उसने भी उसकी मदद करने की ना बोल रही थी। तो वो पानी पीने गए तो पानी नीचे चला गया और आगे कुत्ता आया। आगे कुत्ता बोला ना, लड़की बोली तुम मुझे थोड़ा मोती दे दो। वो उसके पीछे भागने लगी पर उसे कुछ भी नहीं मिला, एक भी नहीं मिले और घर गई ने उसने माने देखा तो गंदे कपड़ों में और मधुमक्खी के काटने से आई थी। और उस बेटी और बाप ने कहा कि तुम अभी चली जाओ यहाँ से। तो इसके पापा ने कहा कि मेहनत का फल मीठा होता है।
अच्छा अभी शंकर भाई આપણે હવે 5 મિનિટમાં બંધ કરીશું। શંકરભાઈ આપણે શંકરભાઈ okay
trying to do kavita
no but they are getting the same person, so I want different person if possible, if they can hear it. Shankarbai, okay. Okay. We have 5 minutes.
नानी तेरी मोरनी को मोर ले गए, बाकी जो बचा था काले चोर ले गए। नानी तेरी मोरनी को मोर ले गए, बाकी जो बचा था काले चोर ले गए। खाके पीके मोटे होके चोर बैठे रेल में, चोरों वाला डब्बा कट के सीधा पहुंचा जेल में। उन चोरों की खूब खबर ली मोटे थानेदार ने, मोरों को भी खूब नचाया जंगल के सरकार ने। नानी तेरी मोरनी को मोर ले गए, बाकी जो बचा था काले चोर ले गए। खाके पी के मोटे होके चोर बैठे रेल में, चोरों वाला डब्बा कट के सीधा पहुंचा जेल में। उन मोरों की खूब खबर ली मोटे थानेदार ने, मोरों को भी खूब नचाया जंगल के सरकार ने।
Tanya, you can mute them.
ले गए, बाकी जो बचा था काले चोर ले गए।
You can mute them right now. Okay, we will stop that way. Mehta ji, आप उनको बोल दो. We will stop the session there. Shankar bhai.
Okay. Okay, I am conveying message.
Yeah. So basically,
Shankar
we
bhai.
will go. Okay. So we are basically saw the what we call Ekal school. So let me let read now. આપણે ટાઈમ થઈ ગયો છે. તમે સ્ટોરીમાં સારો ટાઈમ લીધો, કઈ વાંધો નહીં. That's okay, no problem. Let's go over the few things which we need to talk to this student who have joined us. So Ekal school is our very much point of entry to come to the village. So the teacher, who is also part-time, takes 2.5 hours every day. Many of the kids go to government school, which may be few kilometers away. But basically we want to get their primary reading, writing, and arithmetic. We want to make their base, but same time, we want to give them value-based education. So they have a discipline, and they also learn some performing arts like dancing here to teach them. So teacher tries to do this part. Now, second part is having been student coming there, we basically able to connect to their parents. Now, when we Acharya, here is a man, but 80% of the Acharyas are female in most of our villages. So they are connected to the parents of the children. And they also teach about personal hygiene, which we'll address into the next meeting. They also teach them exercise part. And they also have other part which we will go in more, is called give them a proper guidance. So here, which we saw the one part of it, because their total syllabus is about 2 and 2.5 hours. And they do go, they are basically meeting here between 9 and 10, or maybe 10:30. Their school starts later in the day, maybe about 11 to 4 or something like that. So we are not replacing their normal school. And most of the kids here are from 1st to 5th grade. And a lot of these kids do not start the school on time. So even a 13-year-old might be in a 5th grade. That is not unusual. But we can see that more girls are more active than boys. So our goal is that a lot of these girls, we want them teach, so they are encouraged to study further. Because what we have observed, there is We can stop them.
स्पेलिंग को बोल हाँ स्पेलिंग साथे बोल
You can tap them. Read me, you can turn it on. Tanya, you can mute them. Okay.
શંકરભાઈ હવે ત્યાંથી બધું બંધ રાખો. શંકરભાઈ ત્યાંથી બધું બંધ રાખો. હવે ખાલી કેમેરો એકલો ઓન ભલે રહેવા દો અને મ્યુટ કરી દો તમારે.
Good, good, good. So I want to hear from the kids. We can get them. Good. Okay. I want to hear from questions from all the students. We have 5 minutes left to go over. Go ahead.
I had a quick question. What other responsibilities besides like attending school do these children have?
Most of the children, by the time they are 7-8-year-old, you may be surprised that they are taking care of their younger ones. Many of them, they take care of the younger ones. 3-year-old, younger than them, a lot of them. By the time they are 8, 9, 10, they are helping their parents in their homework, in the housework, let's put that way. So they will feed their creatures. They will also will help their mother, even in cooking. That is common. During the season, they will help them in a field work too. By the time they are 11, 12, 13, they might be able to do some field work. So their schooling is not given that much importance. Many of them will send their kids up to 8th grade, but will not encourage them to go further. So it is a challenge which we all face. So they might be drop out after what we call a middle school education. A good question you have, Shreya. Anybody else has any question?
So that school we just saw, is that just for the grades you were saying, like 1 through 5, or do older kids also come to that same place to learn?
Some older kid might join because they enjoy it, and sometimes they like to help the acharya. Sometimes they help other kids to learn. So they enjoy it and they join us. Sometimes their younger sibling is there and they might come with the younger sibling. Good question. That's true. Anybody else? I think so. It might be a midnight in New York now. That's true. Go ahead. Anything else?
Go ahead. The children like required to attend this class?
Basically, we are asking the kids who are basically not going to school. We encourage them. Most of the kids who do not go to school or parent will not send them. We want them to come here, so at least they learn and be literate, so they do not are left out. That is our goal. Another way is to how to connect with the village. Ekal school is our entry point for the village. So we have a broader purpose of connecting with the village to bring the transformation in the village. By that, we have now Arogya Sevika, we have the people who came here, they will meet and encourage them to grow vegetables in their backyard, or they use organic farming, which will address all of those things. We will go as on. But this is entry point. So basically, we got that very, very clear how that done. So good question. Anybody else has anything?
Hasmukh, some clarification.
Go ahead.
One, I think most of these houses have drinking water in the pot inside. Their cups and utensils are very, very clean. So they do drink clean water. The second part is when we say self-sufficient Gram Swaraj, it used to be that they will make income from the farm, but a lot of have to work outside to the labor work. And because somebody asked about the jeans, they are available in the markets and they buy from open market. They go to the village or the bigger village and go and buy it. Then I think mask question is very interesting. We will follow up what is the government requirement there, which is very interesting question was there. The second part is the prayers. We pray just like here Saraswati, goddess of knowledge. They also have prarthana for goddess of knowledge. And the people whom we call workers are, most of them are kind of a volunteers for our purpose. The last thing is, these are non-formal schools. These are not the formal school or government subscribed curriculum, but we prepare the curriculum which helps them to basically understand their schooling. The older children come because this part of dancing, storytelling, yoga, playing, those things are not available in regular government school. So this is one attraction for them and they enjoy it. So that's the part. The last part is, if you saw the house, most of the schools are under the tree or under the roof of the house. There is no specific building. So these are interesting things, and once you get a chance to visit, you will find it how interesting they are. But as far as the area is concerned, they all have effect of movies and pictures and cinema and everything. So you will see their clothes just like ours and the jeans and those things. So that you will see very common. Go ahead. Sorry.
Abhishek, go ahead.
Are you frozen? Okay.
No, Abhishek is want to talk. Abhishek, you can go ahead. I cannot hear you, Abhishek. Why his voice is low, or volume might be low, because he's unmuted, but I don't know why he's not. Go ahead and unmute it, Abhishek. Go ahead. For some reason, we cannot hear the Abhishek. Abhishek, we cannot hear you because you are muting, unmuting. Something is happening, Tanya. You want to unmute everybody?
How's it now?
Good. Now it's good.
Okay, I was just going to ask how many kids are in the village, because I wanted to know how many people attend the non-formal school.
Government school has maybe, I would say, average for this population, we will have about 100 kids. Okay, but now when you're talking about up to 5th grade, there might be 40, 50 kids. Good question.
There is a government requirement, every child of 6 years must go to school, and in Gujarat, government makes all the effort to make sure they go to the school. Now, quality is one part, but that is requirement.
Okay, good question. Okay, anybody else want to say anything? I'm sure that, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, so I guess we saw today how they're recording the class and showing it to us, but what other ways do they integrate like technology into like a village classroom? Or how are they going to try it? Or how do they plan to do it if they don't do it now?
Okay, we have tablet introduced in some of the schools, and the way the tablets are there, we are giving 4 tablets, and each tablet, one tablet is for 1st and 2nd grade. The second tablet is for 3rd and 4th grade, and then 5th grade and beyond. So they have that kind of way. Yeah, and then we basically try to teach them through the tablet. Some of the things we teach them which we cannot teach here. We will go in detail about that. In digital learning, we'll go in detail about that. Sure. Okay, I think so. I think we will end the meeting here today. It's a long day for me and everybody else. We'll definitely meet you tomorrow morning. What time, Tanya, we have?
It's at 10:30 a.m. Central.
Okay. Okay, so we will go further what topic we are going to discuss next time. So we'll go on something on this one too. So everybody has a good night.